The new add-on restrictions are garbage, but you can still have a great UI. Let's talk about the best add-ons and setup to use to get a UI that looks like this. The Addon Landscape has been changing on an almost daily basis, and I wanted to wait closer to the release of midnight to give you the best possible recommendations. Let's start with user interface best practices alongside a brief overview of my UI, and then we'll get into the add-on specifics. I've been doing this a really long time, but I think the turning point for me was Warlords of Draenor, and every single UI I've made since then have been guided by one thing: display essentials only. Yep, that's it. A problem a lot of WoW players run into is that they tend to display too much information. And with Midnight, classes and specializations are now simpler than ever. So guess what? It's time to make some changes. So let's start with the most important part of your UI, the cooldown manager. You are likely to have strong preferences on how you personally display information. I know I do. So take what I say here and adjust it to how you digest information. This is a starting point, but hopefully it gives you some direction on how you can make good and informed decisions. So I sort my tracked abilities into 3 distinct categories. We have rotational spells, defensives, and utility. Rotational spells should always be front and center. You'll want them slightly below the midpoint of the screen, and this makes it so you can see your feet or anything you need to dodge, but still keeps it in your main point of view. I tuck my defensives directly above the player frame, and I found this is the best place for them so I can see both my health and what defensives I have available. Yet again, it sits nicely in my peripheral vision. Utility spells are placed further down on the screen and usually have a mix of abilities. The goal is to be able to see these easily, but not have them clutter your main area of focus. As a further note, I usually put my trinket in the defensive section, and I have some items like potions or a combat res right below my player unit frame. These are traditionally longer cooldown abilities, and I treat them as such. They should never be in a priority location. Buffs are also something that is a major personal preference, but they're very important. I split mine into 2 areas. The first includes buffs or procs that directly impact my rotational decisions. For Paladin, that includes things like Divine Purpose, Empyrean Power, or Divine Resonance. These are always displayed as icons and should be at the forefront of your cooldown manager. They're usually high priority and you really want to know when to use them. The second area contains uptime related buffs. And for me, these are always progress bars. These aren't priority buffs, so they're going to be viewed from your peripheral vision. You're not going to want to look straight at these all the time. I often include things like expurgation or damage over time effects, major cooldown buffs like Avenging Wrath, and defensives. And while resource tracking isn't built directly into the cooldown manager, I always track my holy power or other resources on different classes directly below my rotational abilities. Taking this approach keeps everything centered and prioritizes what really matters in your moment-to-moment decision making. One other thing is I also hide my action bars. These are always set to mouse over, but I know all of my keybinds by heart, and I can display all of the information from my bars elsewhere in a cleaner manner that gives me more effective information. Raid and party frames are tucked in the bottom right, but if you're healing, I find a centered position more favorable. Find what works best for you. Nameplates are kept clean and currently do not display any buffs or debuffs. The reason for this is because Blizzard has not provided a solution to white or blacklist either of those. So here's a brief example of what it looks like if I do turn on debuffs. This is flat out unacceptable. I'd normally track things like expurgation, judgment, and execution sentence, but there are other non-critical debuffs that are forced onto my nameplate, and that renders any tracking here useless. Blizzard absolutely needs to fix this before Midnight launches, and I can't even imagine playing a dot class without filtering. That would be wild. So put that on the list of things to do. So what add-ons did I use to make this possible? The core of the UI is handled through ElvUI. They've been a long-standing pillar of the add-on community, and this package offers a high degree of customization and pixel perfect alignment. I've been using ElvUI since Cataclysm, and for me, ElvUI is wow. It handles everything from action bars, unit frames, chat skinning, the minimap skins, menu skinning, and more. It offers an unparalleled level of customization. I'm also currently using ElvUI for party and raid frames, but I'm planning on transitioning back to Cell whenever they release a stable version for Midnight. For holy power and resource tracking, I'm using Sensei Class Resource Bar. This integrates directly with Blizzard's edit mode and allows for enough customization. It's simple, but it does the job. While the cooldown manager works out of the box from the Blizzard side of things, I needed a higher degree of customization. Very specifically, the need to remove the global cooldown swipe. For me, it's a bit overstimulating, so I wanted it gone. And for better or for worse, ArcUI was the only option that offered that degree of customization. I have very mixed feelings on this add-on. It allows me to do what I want with the icon part of the cooldown manager, but its bar tracking is a little bit crap. The user interface is also clunky and non-intuitive at points, but the end result is pretty good. I can customize things like swipe settings, font, text size, text location, text coloring, and even some visibility conditions. Glows can be edited here as well. It's pretty good. My one major complaint with this, outside of the user interface, all comes back to the bars. You can create custom and unique bars with it, but the problem is there is no option for a consolidated dynamic tracking with color customization. I've only seen one other add-on actually do that, but that one wasn't built super well. So here we are. In addition, some of the text customization isn't able to be shown or isn't able to be customized, so will probably be added down the road, but at this point, it's pretty limited. But right now, what you see is what you get. I do fully expect to switch to another add-on in the future as the Addon Landscape changes, but right now, this meets what I need. For raid alerts, I have a problem with the Blizzard timeline. For whatever reason, it just doesn't register in my brain. I need something a little bit more particular. I prefer progress bars, so my add-on of choice is both Bigwigs and Littlewigs for all dungeon and boss alerts. They're limited in what they can do compared to before, but I'm still able to have the progress bars, and that's the really important part for me. Blizzard did say they were going to release a progress bar version of the timeline, but I'll reserve judgment until I see it in action. Who knows, maybe I'll switch if it's good enough. Plater has been my go-to for nameplates and still remains my strong preference here. It offers an extreme degree of customization, and it's a little better suited for power users. I'm able to have a clear and readable nameplate setup and some additional color customization. It's not as extensive as it was before, but it's still pretty good. My current color scheme is the following. You can see it here. For the most part, there's not a lot of choice. I color my bosses in a particular way. I color my casters in a particular way. This is something you can change yourself at any point based on what you like. I tend to prefer muted colors so they aren't so harsh on the eyes, but the choice is up to you. I may end up adjusting some of this in the near future, but it does follow the logic I've been using for the past couple of years. I need to really see them in action in Midnight Dungeons before making any color specific changes, but those are really easy to make. And so these add-ons make up the core of the UI. Everything else at this point is really just quality of life additions. Not saying they're not impactful, and I think they're really good, but they're not required for the UI to function. So I'll rapid fire my preferences for quality of life add-ons. Take a look on these ones, you might find some you really like. Advanced interface options. So this one offers some behind the scenes settings. I don't use it frequently, but it's really good to have when you do need it. Dialogue UI. I absolutely love this one. It offers a more polished and immersive experience to questing, and I can also accept and turn in quests using my spacebar. That makes me going through my normal day in World of Warcraft just a little bit easier and a little bit more nice. Skywriting Falcon. I picked this one up recently, and I'm convinced it's pretty good. Visually, it's great and has everything I could want for skywriting, and it even has second wind charges baked into the main bar here. It's really clean, it's small, and I have it set up so everything hides when I'm flying. Makes a really fun flying experience. Simulation Craft. This one lets us have a direct export string to dump right into raid bots. It allows us to sim our gear and make better gearing decisions. Pretty self-explanatory. Paragon Reputation. This add-on makes reputation bars much more clean and provides a readable indicator when you do have Paragon boxes to turn in. I was initially going to get rid of this one in Midnight, but I was surprised at how much I missed it, so I added it back. Waypoint UI. After using TomTom for years, I swapped to this and haven't looked back. This handles all coordinate input and provides a clear screen indicator for waypoints. Whether you're flying from A to B or a world quest or whatever the case is, this is going to get you in the right direction. Plumber. Arguably, one of the best quality of life add-ons there is. It has many great options ranging from auto-selecting delve powers to better toast pop-ups, and there's something really here for everybody. My personal favorite part, and the reason why I downloaded it in the first place, was the talking head removal. I found the talking head to be very dated and I preferred just a clean text version, so that's what I did. It removes the head and keeps the text. So there you have it. The plan is to use this setup heading into Midnight and make adjustments from there. My UI is and always will be free to access. You can find add-on links and import strings in the Discord under the Jesir UI channel. The link to join the Discord can be found in the video description below. Joining the Discord also gets you access to retribution-specific resources and other content. For those who want to support the channel further, check out the Patreon page link below. Members get some cool benefits like log reviews, UI support, log updates, and something cool I whipped up called Jesir Radio. Check it out. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for future updates. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.